Welcome, time for some art fun. Today we are going to draw and paint an owl from this reference picture, and hopefully you'll be able to paint along with me to this royalty-free reference photo. So enjoy. Okay, for some reason when I put in these little circles, which aren't even the eyes and the beginnings of the nose, that was enough for me to start giggling. I start giggling when I'm drawing cute animals. This is why I love to draw them, because they're so stinking fun and happy. And I just start to laugh. Like, this is already making me laugh. You probably can barely see anything because this pencil is so light. This is gonna be a big old owl giving you the very, very funny look over the shoulder. Very funny, like, what are you doing over there? What are you doing back there? What are you doing back there? What are you looking at? Get out of here. This is my tree. That's what I imagine this fuzzy baby is doing. Now I'm making this one much fuzzier and, dare I say, even cuter than the actual real animal, and that's my prerogative, people. That's my prerogative. I'm allowed to do that, and this is another part where once these go in, it starts to get real cute. I don't know if we're there yet, but once these eyes are in, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I'm gonna come in now, I've been drawing with my Pilot Color Eno 0.7 blue pencil. And now that I have enough down, I like to jump right in and start doing some black lines. And that will actually help you all too, because you'll be able to see a lot better what I am doing. So once I get that part in, and usually there's some kind of a glint. There's actually not in this owl any glint, but I'm going to, again, add it because I think it makes the end product look a lot better. Okay, so we're starting to have some eyes happening, that's my favorite part. Oh, okay. Do you see what I mean? The minute those eyes go in, it's just like a different world. Even though none of the fur that I consider feathers, wow, never gonna be a zoologist, never gonna be able to be a vet, people. I'm telling you that right now. But now that I can see the dark feathers, I can put some of the darkness in with black, even though I'm not trying to be realistic because none of these feathers look black. Usually shadows in general aren't black. Usually they're dark blue or gray or some kind of mix of reflective color. Now that we have some of these details going in, we're starting to see the cute little face showing up. And I'm just doing squiggly lines. I'm not trying, as you can probably tell, I'm not trying to be perfect in any way. That's one of my favorite things about fur. Okay, well, one of my favorite things about feathers, fur, anything that might come on a cute animal is that it's organic material, people. Let's get fancy. You know I love to get fancy with my fancy words. It's organic material. So what that means is it's not necessarily going to have to be perfect. A lot of things like human hair, human skin, you know, anything organic, anything you're going to learn about in bio, that stuff doesn't tend to come in perfection. Sometimes it does, and then that's always really cool, like perfect circles in nature, or perfect spheres, or perfect spirals. Sometimes you learn about that stuff and it's super cool. But usually you can get away with things being a little bit wonky, especially because even if it's technically perfect, if it were laid out flat, it's probably not gonna be laid out flat in real life. Like these feathers here, they're not lining up perfectly. Even if this little baby were to spread those beautiful wings, it's not necessarily going to line up perfectly. So, because they're all bunched up, this is a baby in action. There's action happening. Someone's behind. What's going on back there? He's got to figure it out. Stay on guard and figure out what's going on back there. So I'm going to fill this in with watercolor once we're in pretty good shape with the blacks. And we're really almost there. I mean, I probably could have left this in real time and not even sped it up. Maybe I'll do a portion in real time of even the drawing, in which case this will be kind of an irrelevant voiceover piece, as you will have seen that I chose to do that already. But I think it could be really good for you to see that once you're comfortable with your pencil, you don't really need to get too crazy with being nervous. You don't really need to be nervous, people. That's what I'm saying. Okay, a lot of shadow where this little baby's saying, who goes there? Who goes there? And actually, if you want to comment with what you think the baby is actually thinking or saying, please feel free, because this is a little baby fuzzball. Now, I think the head's maybe round, maybe not round enough. So let's, I don't know if you saw my polar bear snuggle, but there was a lot of talk with that one about making things a little bit rounder, little bit rounder, little bit rounder, little bit rounder, because that's really, you know, come on. Rounder's always good with a baby animal. You want a little roundness. You want some roundness happening. Okay, now that we have the sketch pretty well done, and I do have light lines for where I want the trees to go back here, but I'm not going to do any black on those yet because I like to kind of play with the watercolor there. Let's get on to painting. I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but sometimes I talk about why my palette might look so disgusting to you when I open it and you just see all this dried paint. But the thing is, I like to use all of it. This all is very relevant to what I'm doing here. I didn't plan that. This is just because I do so much wildlife that it's a pretty fair bet that I'm gonna be able to reuse whatever's on my palette. Whatever nonsense I've concocted, whatever ridiculous amount of paint I have mixed. As much as I have a lot of paint, and I do, I still feel like it's all so precious. I can't stand wasting any of it. And so when I finish, you know, like for instance, this is very similar to the color scheme of my sister owls, my snuggling sister owls that I made. And I'll put a picture in here again. This will be the like 50 millionth time I've put a picture of them in a video. Or the second, either way. I just feel like 2 times is a lot. And so you can reuse those paints. So hopefully you're seeing the different techniques I'm using. I'm using a darker shade for this bow here because it's being blocked by the owl. And I think having this much of the background filled in really helps show what color the owl should be for that main event of painting. The main baby we're here for, the main reason we probably all clicked was because probably there was a picture of this little owl involved. And why wouldn't there be? Okay, so I'm starting to really love this. I need a little more shadow under the little, you know, I like to say features, but I feel like this owl's too serious for that. I don't think that she's putting up with it. I don't think this baby's putting up with her talons being called features. So let's just give her the respect that she's clearly requesting with that face. And these will be talons. Very serious. Highly serious. This is all watercolor except for this green has a little bit of gouache mixed in, and that gave it a little bit of an oomph that I was looking for. All right, I'm loving this so far, so let's keep going. The brush that I use to get this sort of effect, the texture, is this dagger. And I love a dagger brush. This is my first time owning one, and I'm obsessed with it. I really love it for effects like that. And I'm gonna try to get similar effects on these once they dry. So we'll get a little bit more texture, but the one right in front really does need the most texture. So let's keep on cruising, we're almost done. Okay, that is the baby owl painting, the very suspicious baby. And I'm really happy with it. I'm not sure if it'll come across at this distance. So when I'm done with the satisfying paint peeling portion of this painting session, which, wow, we're moving this time. We're moving and grooving. I'll hold it up closer so that you can see what the details look like. I tried a lot of different techniques this time, and hopefully you will enjoy the result. This was another Mira Byler washi tape. This is like a succulent one, very cute. I enjoyed using it today. So let's take a peek. Ooh, yeah, it's totally coming across. Okay. So this is the detail. There's the bark. I used a lot of dry brush technique to get that bark texture. I used some white gouache. I used Daniel Smith watercolor. I used a bunch of different brushes, and I had a blast. I love it. I love how it came out. It is so cute. Look how cute this little baby is. I think it's really funny when animals make almost anthropomorphized, I'll have to figure out that word, but when they make human type expressions, and it's very freaky. I see it with my dog all the time, and it's so cute. So this is the baby owl. I hope that you painted along with me. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like and a thumbs up because it really helps me out. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing for more content like this. And until next time, remember to create something cute.